but then face to face. Now I know in part, but then I shall know just as I also am known. But I see another law in my members, warring against the law of my mind. BTB, conversating with the man just so it don't feel.
What's going on, True Squad? It's your boy BTB Swaggy. And you back at the BTB Revolution with another banger, man. Today we have another Charleston White at the Danza project. It's a whole nother interview, giving out game, pushing out game. Like we say, man, we just recently hit 2K. I want to thank y'all on the road to 3K. Can't express to y'all enough how much we appreciate y'all for coming and just taking your time to do whatever. So on the way to 3K, also make sure you check out that BTB Revolution store, man. We have new merch on the way. Make sure you always use my discount code at BTB Swaggy. We have different varieties of hoodies, shirts, pants, and shoes. So you make sure you go check those out and see what you like. Like I said, discount code at BTB Swaggy, you get 10% off. Without further ado, we're really gonna dive into it. Y'all let me know what y'all want to see next, and as we go along, y'all just let me know what y'all would like for me to react to. So without further ado, we're just gonna jump straight into it.
What's good, y'all? It's your boy Danza. Just one of the many faces of the machine known as the Danza Project. Please do me a favor, if you rock with us, hit that like button, subscribe button, and turn those notifications on. We appreciate you. Salute.
I mean, you got to think about it. Anybody who wasn't in that big three, you feeling some type of way about it, you know? Big three only but three folks.
Yeah, so. The fans didn't pick the big three. Them niggas can't a nigga can't call himself the GOAT and he the GOAT. The people got to identify you as the GOAT. And we ain't took up no motherfucking collective vote to say who the top three in the industry is.
Right.
So with that said, then who's the top three for you?
Jimmy Iovine.
He has to answer the questions like that.
What's that other white boy name that make them niggas get in them white pajamas and get on the boat?
Oh man.
They call him
Michael Rubin.
I was about to say as P. Diddy.
No.
It might be Michael Rubin.
No, this the one make them get in them white linens. Beyonce, the Kardashian, everybody got to come to his party. What's it? Is it Michael Rubin?
Michael Rubin. I think it's Michael Rubin.
Yeah.
That was the famous one that they had.
That's the one that was hugging up on.
Is that the nigga that had Meek doing the? He had Meek doing the bunny hops. He was like, "Count out loud."
Count out loud.
30.
Huh?
4, 6, 7.
Count out loud. Count out loud. Like, ugly ass boy, get your goof ass on. Ain't nobody trying to do all that. And Meek, you was actually bunny hopping, bro. What Philly nigga gonna bunny hop to a bro? You about to give me tight, bro.
Little baby.
Yeah, they put Lil Baby in the white boy sandwich.
Yeah.
But
and
man,
the white chocolate Oreo.
You know you gotta have Future in the top three in the big three, homie. You know, if you going lyricist, you gotta have Kendrick in there.
I disagree. I'm not much of a Kendrick fan.
I'm not a Kendrick fan at all. I'm not a Kendrick fan at all. But lyrical wise,
you can't even discount Drake's lyricism. He's a great lyricist.
I haven't excluded Drake.
Yeah.
I haven't. Yeah.
Drake fucked the whole shit up for the writing thing with the whole Meek Mill shit. You know what I'm saying? So Drake, since he don't write like that, he can't really be in the lyricist argument. You know what I'm saying?
But you gotta drop that at the same time too, because he's had help. With certain things writing, but we also got to remember that Drake wrote a lot of people's shit too.
No. If you can't write your own shit,
he writes his own shit though. He's definitely had help.
Some of the greatest rappers of all time didn't have nobody writing their lyrics.
Absolutely, I don't disagree with that, but I don't think that Drake has people writing his shit like that.
I think he got ghostwriters.
I think it's happened, right? I think people help him write hooks and shit. Like he stole.
My nigga, if you don't think that Drake has ghostwriters, you are surely mistaken. You mean to tell me Drake is sitting in his room all by himself, coming up with all these hits on, even with the fucking lyrics that he coming up on features? You can't sit here and tell me that every Drake feature has got on, he sat right there and wrote that down. He has help, bro. He has ghostwriters. Let's get that excluded right now. Even at a point, Lil Wayne used to have ghostwriters, but I ain't gonna go that deep into that for y'all.
It's been rumored for too long.
Yeah, it's definitely a thing. I just think he does it for certain tracks with hooks to make them sound super catchy. People bringing up certain shit, and you got to credit. Right?
I think it's enough input for someone else for me to be like, all right, we'll use like a creation.
I think my thing is though is
he's a good Drake
at the table.
He's a puppet
for real.
He's a puppet. He's a parrot.
I think if you put Drake at a table, Kendrick at a table, Cole at a table, and you just told them to write, Drake is a writer. He will come out with serious
Cole and Kendrick go leave him behind if they sat down and write. If they had to use their minds to write lyrics, Cole and Kendrick will leave his ass.
I think Drake and Cole will leave Kendrick.
It also depends.
No. Drake would get left in the dust by Cole and Kendrick if they had to sit down at the table and write lyrics.
Yeah, but I'm the other way. I think Drake will outright.
If you
think we don't.
What the fuck?
Are you not ashamed of yourself? Are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing.
No way this nigga just said Drake would outright both of them niggas. You light skinned, bro. I'm giving you a pass. You light skinned, my nigga. Come on, bro. Y'all light skinned stick together. Let me hear what you gotta say about these pedo allegations, though. You better not defend him on that. The music, I don't give a fuck. But you better not defend him on these pedo allegations, my nigga. Real shit. You already light skinned, so I'm giving you a pass.
If you put Lil Wayne and Tupac and Biggie and Jay-Z into the factor, they got to go sit at the little boys table.
I agree.
If you're talking about writing lyrics.
But this is the thing, like hip hop is so subjective because there's so many different things to grade. You know, your favorite versus the best versus album sold, you know, people say like championship rings, like that's the only thing we could, you know, it's different ways to grade hip hop. But when it talk about pen, it also depends what you're using it for. Like if Drake has a little writing camp and it's to make a hit single, I'm actually okay with that. If we talking about beef, you got to write that.
Let's take away the writers. Let's take away the writers. And we back in the Notorious B.I.G. movie where you had to write your own lyrics at the house and bring what you wrote out to this block.
Yeah.
Didn't nobody write this for you? And if they found out your buddy was writing this and your buddy can't rap, you can't rap over here no more.
Or even if you used it before.
So let's go back to real hip hop when it was about, we talking lyrics, homie. We talking lyrics. We talking about being a lyricist. Right. So what made Jay-Z supersede past everybody? Because he can go in the studio and rap you a whole album without writing anything down, but rapping like he wrote it down and still memorize it.
Yeah.
So then Lil Wayne came along and stopped writing things down and started producing albums sounding like they was writing lyrics. You had Lil Flip, and shout out to Lil Flip, man, who was one of the greatest freestyle rappers of the millennials during the millennial era, the turn of the millennial, right? When freestyle rapping became popular. Well, till this day, homie, nobody have out freestyled and out rap Lil Wayne's mixtape of the 2000 era.
Right. Word. Another person that we can't discount that is phenomenal at writing and freestyling the records that went live every time he was recording an album is Tory Lanez.
Yeah, Tory Lanez, Kanye West. What's the other kid name?
Kanye West uses writers. He actually used Drake as
well. Well, not in the beginning, because remember he came to Rockefeller, homie, writing for them niggas.
Yeah, for sure.
The Wire when Jesus Walk. So you can't take Kanye.
No, you can't take those records away from him.
But
I just think Drake doesn't get enough credit for the shit he does right.
Drake is a performer. Drake is an entertainer, and Drake is a rapper. He's not a lyricist. He got some great ad libs, some catchy hooks. But he's a great entertainer, a great rapper, a great performer. But he's not a lyricist.
I don't disagree with you often, but I'm disagreeing with you. I think it's a
Say, but shout out to Lupe Fiasco, man. Y'all, Lupe was another nigga. Yeah.
There's a lot of them that are missing out.
Professor?
That,
Is he professor yet?
you know who was phenomenal at? You know who was phenomenal at making diss records? That probably has the best Drake diss.
Oh,
Joe Budden.
yeah, Joe was yeah.
He's a writer. Him, Royce, Joel Ortiz,
true
Crooked
lyricist
Eye.
right
Those are actual. But you know what? There's nobody that freestyles better than Unk.
There you go.
Like, welcome, motherfucker, back. No, you back.
No.
Back to the Danza Project. This is season 2, episode number 6. We didn't even get an intro out. God damn it.
Say, listen,
That's how comfortable we are in this goddamn room.
Them niggas be hollering. He want to be a rapper. I don't. Yeah. I want to be an MC.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to be an MC. I want to be an MC like Rakim.
They called me the other day.
Cause Rakim never sound like he was rapping. He always sound like he was talking.
Hey, in fact,
Thinking of a
Rakim,
master plan.
that whole flow, he the one that changed the game. Because before that, niggas was like the hip hop. Yeah, Rakim, the first one, started putting bars in the shit, giving like that whole intricate flow.
He sound like he talking, like he just like a nigga just giving game.
Some Big Daddy Kane type. You know what I mean?
And I'm not calling Baby dumb, but Baby Brian Williams with Cash Money. He rap plain and simple. He just talk.
I don't like that shit.
But
I don't mind it.
I'm so straight. Anytime I hear him rap, I'm like,
well, I never minded because I used to hear him say, "I'm not a rapper, I'm a game spitter." So I used to pick up on the ad lib that I'm a game spitter. So I was picking up on the difference.
I just hear him after Wayne, and then I'm like, oh, come on. Like,
he had a couple of little simple bars. I went from shitting in the cell to shitting in the jet. You know what I'm saying?
But my God, it is now 2024. We've had you up here twice or 3 times. That improv live that we had where we were talking about cheese and Gilly went crazy. Right?
Yeah,
that alone did over 150,000 views on YouTube. And that was I dropped that on YouTube like a week after we had it on the
if YouTube
IG
went age restricted, it probably would have went more.
Yeah.
It probably would have done 1 million.
Listen, we aren't gonna do the same type of volume as most other platforms on YouTube because we go past that line. We get a lot of restricted content because it's not what I'm doing right now. I'm not there for that.
Hey, homie, y'all. Well, I be sitting back saying, man, they can do way more numbers. But you guys are building a platform, so I understand. But now, homie, y'all would make way more money and do way more numbers and views.
We would do more if we didn't go live.
I know. If you didn't go live, you pre-recorded it, you edited it, you set it for a time and date before it be released. So just think, homie, you guys are succeeding right now with what you're doing, and that's being. That's with barriers and obstacles in the way. So between YouTube manual or review having to appeal that
all the time.
Then all the time. So then winning that appeal and then having a video age restricted.
Yeah.
Man, that's probably knocking out probably 60% of the revenue that's generated from this shit.
Absolutely. But you know what we're building is a real platform with real life connections, allowing people to truly be themselves without trying to limit them. Because it's what I think everybody that's come up here, aside from yourself after the first time, right? Because I think even the first time you asked, like, cool to cuss on here? Like,
A
lot of people, they come up here and they're like, could we cuss? Could I say this?
I know Charleston. I can't speak for nobody else, but I know Charleston always makes sure because it's kind of like what type of channel he's asking that because it's like what type of channel do you have? What type of audience do you have? Do you have mostly like a kid audience? So do he has to switch up his wordplay from like he has to switch up his cussing words, or do you have an adult audience where he can cuss? When somebody's getting on an interview on somebody else's channel, I feel like it just helps for them to know their audience.
Could I talk about that? I'm like, you just be you.
Well,
we'll be us. You be you. We'll talk about what we got to talk about. We'll get it out of the way.
My first time sitting down on here, I compared you two guys to being a better version of Wallow and Gilly, because because of your style of interviewing, and then you got good cop, bad cop. You got that component, right? So that's always good in a duo. You guys got great content, but two handsome yellow niggas. Yeah, homie, that's a factor, homie. That nigga, that's why Steven Jackson and his people came. Yeah. So that plays a part. And you guys are advertiser friendly.
Yeah.
Now every now and then, Miguel, every now and then, Miguel, somebody make it mad, fuck you,
Jump off.
And so, but because you guys won't adhere to the components that'll maximize your monetization, that lets me know y'all doing content for your fans.
Or
You know what I realized after having you up here a few times is, there's no doubt anything that I've ever come into, I look at it as a business.
Yeah.
Right. And the more and more these shows kept going on, I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what? I'm over here trying to be like cool with, this network and cool with this network and cool with this network. And I'm thinking about it after I have this is where like all came to fruition is I have that talk with you on IG Live.
Yeah.
I get a quote unquote death threat, oh, you better not put your location out there and have that shit on you every time, everywhere you go. And for the first couple seconds, I'm like, and then I'm like, yeah, I don't know who, I was like, my boy, I don't know who told you that shit, but do me a favor and let them know they could suck my dick. And whoever wants to come run up on me, they could suck my dick too. Like, and that's where I started going crazy because I thought about it and I'm like, because I'm not sitting there talking shit about Cheese. I'm allowing you to talk your shit. We're having a conversation. They're like, well, you agreed with him the whole time. Well, I do understand exactly what the fuck he's saying. If you disrespect me, and you say fuck me, you start calling me names, there's no limit to the amount of disrespect I'm gonna throw back at you, and then you can't say, wait, time out. There's rules. You ever seen a fight like growing up that a motherfucker tried to call a timeout in the middle because I did?
Shit. Yeah, because you on top, and now he's talking about no wrestling.
Yeah. Like somebody's got to win this.
No
shit.
Wrestling. Stand
There's no like.
I'm not gonna lie. Don't ask where I pulled this other mic from, but I'm not gonna lie. Basically, the small town where I grew up from, niggas always knew what was going on when you was in a fight. It was never no, oh, you can't jump me, you can't wrestle, you can't grab me. It was always like, yo, nigga, it's up. So whenever it was up, nigga, it was up. We ain't never really put rules on fighting because we already knew there was no rules on a street fight. Nigga, we'll be in elementary school at the playground, and if a nigga tried to, you'll first start off throwing fists, and nigga try to scoop you, and the next thing you know, he banging your head off the slide, off the as questionable as it sounds, even the monkey bars, like there was no rules in a street fight with us. Like it was never that. So I don't know. I never seen that part. So
gouging eyeballs and biting, you can't say no, don't do that. There's no, you can't pull out a gun if you're trying to beat the fuck out of somebody out in real life. So I understood it. Now people are sitting there telling me, well, you're the one that's doing it. And I'm like, you know what? I genuinely like, I'm a fan of Wallow and Gilly. I like what they do. But if they didn't like me for it, then so be it. Who gives a fuck? I'm not about to be like, oh my God, no way.
R.P. Gilly's son too, man. R.P.
Hey, like, don't.
Let me just say this. He went out his way to say the things that he said to the person that he said them to. He had to go out his way to say those things, homie.
Yeah, he didn't need to respond.
Trying to fuck my money.
Well, because of who he is, and not that this person is small as an individual, but he's small in the metaverse world. If you send a message to a celebrity,
yeah.
So if I send a message to a blue check person, even though I'm a blue check, if he's not following me, and Gilly's not following this guy, so if he's not following me and I send him a message, he got to go to his message request because I'm not in his general message. Yeah. So you got to go out your way to go to your message request. Right now, to narrow the pickings, because You know, I give
a lot of shit coming.
It's a lot of shit to the man, especially if you're a blue check, especially if you got a lot of followers. So throughout the day, you may have on any given day, maybe 50 to 200 message requests of some bullshit and maybe of some business shit because y'all are not friends, right?
Right.
So for him to get this message, which I already know he's not following this person, he went out his way to see this message, and for him to respond to it and use the words that he used, and he don't know nothing about me. I said that's personal. And in my mind, as I process this, I'm saying to myself, well, damn, me and him ain't never had no encounter with each other for this to be that personal.
Right.
Yeah, homie. And I publicly showed you some compassion. My first reaction was to be compassionate when the situation happened.
Yeah.
Even I was on this platform, if I remember correctly, because I brought up what happened between me and Kareem Blitz.
Yep.
So,
if it's
me, listen. I'm an Indian giver. If I give you something and you do something to me, I want back what I gave you.
Yeah.
I once was fucking with a bitch one time in my early 20s, and I used to always hear people say, "Boy, your daddy kind of, if he buy a loaf of bread in the house and he get mad, he gonna take the loaf of bread out the house." Made me mad one time. I had just went bought groceries. Yeah, I took everything, including a loaf of bread, out the mother house. Yeah, I'm one of them.
I like that.
Yeah, I'm one of them kind of. So, yeah. So I took my compassion back and turned ugly on that ass, mother. Yeah, man, fuck him. Yeah, that mother he laid in the ground. So, and yeah, that go for the sister that's attached to him, the mama that's crying over him, because I know what come with these words.
Right.
And it's like motherfucker saying you banned from Antarctica. So yeah, I ain't never thought about going to Antarctica. Never in my life. So for a motherfucker to say, hey, you can't come to Philly. Yeah. It's like a motherfucker saying you're banned from Antarctica. So I ain't never thought about going to Philly. I'm from Texas. What? And have you ever been to Philly? Yeah, I have. Why would I want to go there? Never in my life. In all my dreams and wishes of fantasies, even with this comedy thing, have I said, man, I would like to perform in Philly.
Shout out to Philly.
I've never had that desire.
But nonetheless, these people that are talking that shit, they're not gonna do anything anyways. They're just a bunch of
I wouldn't give a damn if they was talking shit or talking not. I've never had a desire, a dream, a fantasy, or a wish, or a plan to go to Philly. What's in Philly that would draw somebody like me there? Nothing. I'm a vibrant, empowered kind of guy. Nothing vibrant about Philly. The sun barely shine out through the clouds in that mother. Nah, man. They ain't got no water parks, no green grass, out watering the grass. They ain't got no loving white people. They got loving white people down south. Man, please. They got people on drugs that I've never seen in my life.
Yeah, that's true.
Nowhere on earth have I seen somebody bent over, slunched over, and don't move. Froze and body froze and twisted up.
They got that Rocky statue out there.
Man, I ain't never seen it. So homie, so why I want to go there? I'm trying to connect with black people who had grandmothers and grandfathers who went, I'm trying to connect with people who still went to the country for the summer as kids. Motherfuckers who know their great grandmothers. Man, them kids in Philly, bro, they know their great grandfathers and grandmothers. So now I come from I'm a real Southern black. I don't know nothing about the North. All I know is black people, white people, Mexicans, and Asians. I don't know nothing else outside of that. Right. I just started knowing Jewish people. I didn't know what Jewish people was and what they looked like and that they wore them funny hats. I've never seen them where we come from. All I know is black people, white people, Mexican people, and whatever Asian people are. Chinese, Vietnamese, Laotianese, somethingese. I don't know nothing else. I'm a real Southern.
Yeah. Plus, I've never known you the type to be the one to say, okay, you can't come here. Oh, well, I guess I can't come here no more.
I went everywhere they said I can't go.
Exactly. We watched you all do it. Anybody who got
So even if there's black
smartphone.
Muslims there?
Yeah, I went to Farrakhan house. Yeah, my daddy lived right across the street from Farrakhan house. So I went to my daddy house to smoke weed before we went to the airport, and Farrakhan security saw that it was me, and they came to greet. Yeah. They came to greet. And Farrakhan told them, y'all better leave, y'all don't bother. So they under order. Now, I know they ain't like them other Shiite Muslims. The black Muslims over here is broken in spirit. They ain't no motherfucking suicide bomber kind of. They ain't gonna kill nobody in the name of the religion. Yeah, they'll beat you up. Yeah, they'll jump on you. But these Muslims over here ain't gonna take no airplane and run it into no motherfucking building, these black Muslims. Elijah Muhammad prohibit Muslims from carrying guns. So the black Muslims don't pose a threat. Yeah, they want to hurt me because I'm 5'9", 120 pounds, and it's easy to hurt me. But you've never seen the Muslims during no police shooting, from Trayvon Martin to Mike Brown to Breonna Taylor. You never seen the bow tie in uniform, in sync, hollering "F the police, no justice, or else." So let me break this shit down, homie, since they think these Muslims, homie, you ain't never seen them go against the gangbangers. Because the Muslim religion allowed the street to still play gangster in the name of Akbar, Allah, Bismillah, the Rockman, the Rahim bullshit. They still let them push the street codes. That's why they can still do what they do as Muslims.
Nah, real shit though, cause look at Lil Durk and all them. Like I can't tell y'all how many times I've seen on Instagram where old block be like, we praying, we Muslim, we got the pillows on our knees, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful to nobody's culture by saying y'all got pillows on y'all knees. I genuinely don't know. If it's called something else, let me know. But I genuinely don't know what it is. So I'm looking at it like y'all praying on pillows on y'all knees. But if they call something else, let me know. But I seen the whole post, old block doing that, praying supposedly. And what is Lil Durk doing still? So I agree with Charleston on this, cause old block niggas do. I be seeing y'all post a lot of Muslim shit, and y'all still be on that street shit. Nothing changes.
The street codes. That's why they can still do what they do as Muslims. That's why when you see, whether it's the basketball player, the boxing, the rapping, or the street, when they embrace Islam, you don't see no real transformation in their actions. These remain the same. Yeah, they give up eating pork, but they keep sucking.
That's true too.
They keep eating ass. They'll stick their tongue in any hole's mouth.
It's like almost convenient.
Man, they suck. That they bleed for 7 days. That is just as filthy as that pig. You sucking cum and they eat ass. So don't act like Allah Muhammad brother man don't eat ass. That's fecal matter. E. coli bacteria. You don't think that's worse than the Pope? So they be talking, homie. And
I always wonder where that came from, though. Where did the indoctrination of that come from here in America?
The slave masters, because you have to understand, homie, the Arabs were the first slave masters over the Africans. The Arabs are the ones who showed the Europeans how to do this slave trade. So it was the Arabs who introduced Arab, Islam, Muslim to their slaves. The Christian came with his, say Bulgaria bull during that council, right? We don't know if none of these books are true, homie, because for one, when we get them, they're copyrighted. Think about that, homie.
Whoa.
Every Bible and every Quran, it's copywritten.
Copywritten.
So it's been edited, it's been rewrote, even in the translation. When they translate the words don't have the same meanings in English that it does in Hebrew. And come on, homie.
It's different.
So I call bull on all them because I watched all these go, they convert. These ain't born into Islam. These is converted.
Reason why I say that and ask that, and I don't expect you to know, but you see and hear a lot about that in prison.
Oh, I ain't never in my life. I'm 46 years old. I'll be 47 May 17th. Never in my life have I seen a that was born a Muslim. He was converted. I ain't never seen a from elementary. He was Muslim in elementary. We all ate bacon in the morning. We all had pizza party with the pepperoni on the pizza. And that's all we had was pepperoni and cheese. I remember.
Little gummy snacks. And
I remember when we was in juvenile, you ate the pigs in the blankets when we was in juvie.
Corn dog in the morning.
And we was in juvie at 14. So now when you probably got to the county and when you got to prison, by time, you know, see, the Islam religion is so easy to be accepted because when they bring Islam to you, you're angry. The Christian have to release his anger. The Christian can't walk away from the altar still hollering the white man because the Christian religion says there's no respect of person. So it's easy to reject the Christian religion. You think that's weak. So that's why they go pick up the Quran and still play tough. That's why there's no humility with the Muslim, with the Islam. He'll still kick your ass at the drop of a dime.
Right.
You think Elijah Muhammad killed Malcolm X?
Yeah. I think he set the ball rolling. I think he indirectly had Malcolm by lifting and taking the protection off around it.
Because he benefited the most.
John the Baptist got his motherfucking head cut off for talking about the king. Done a favor for the king. And the king said, I want your daughter. Man, I want to your daughter. She said, boy, if you want my daughter, I just want one thing. He said, what's that? I want John the Baptist's head. Man, I can't kill John. God damn, John is the messenger. But boy, I want your daughter. Oh, I want your daughter. And he want the daughter so bad, he said, man, I'll get John ass if you go, can I really have your daughter? Yeah, king, you can have my daughter. I have him killed by next week. And that's how John the Baptist got his head cut off. Same with Malcolm. They was heartbroken when they found out Elijah Muhammad was fucking all them young girls, homie. Yep. And when they found out she was pregnant, they made her disappear. Exile. She was an exile Muslim because he preyed on the little girl. And they didn't want, homie. So when this Malcolm, who Malcolm looking up to, so when Malcolm find this out, Malcolm heartbroken. I want y'all to think about this, homie. The FBI watched Malcolm till he died. They never caught him with no hoe. They said this motherfucker is almost like a saint. He don't do nothing but go to the speaking engagement, go back to the room, eat, talk to Betty, pray, and go to bed. Everybody else is and sucking and having fun except this one black leader. Elijah can't have no underling like that. That'll bring this kind of shame to the leader and take over the nation. God right. He was complicit. He was complicit. So now, homie, so I don't want to hear nothing from the Muslim. If I got to find God in the book, that God. Because when I was 14 years old and I was locked in this cell and I was put in the same cell that my 14-year-old friend committed suicide in. My put himself in this cell. It's the last cell on the end. And them white folks used to put a nigga in that bitch, man. And because I was so unruly, they wouldn't give me no Bible. They wouldn't give me no Quran. How the fuck I get God now? I'm beating on the door. How I get God?
I need God because I'm thinking about suicide now. I'm scared. How do I access God? And I ain't got the book. Do I gotta wait till they give me the book to get God? I might kill myself like my nigga did. Do I gotta wait for the preacher? How do I get God? So fuck that book. And I need the spirit. The spirit don't rise through the book. I can't understand this shit no way. So how do I get God if I can't understand this just literature? So don't men fuck that book. And if I gotta get God through the book, if I gotta get God through the preacher, fuck that God.
He be talking some shit. You know what I want to know?
Hey,
now it's for the
cooking,
first
right?
time. I just think I connected the dots, and it might not even be real. But did you put up Ryan Garcia to all this?
You goddamn right I did. I brought him to mama house. We had the preacher there and everything. No, yeah.
Because Ryan Garcia completely switched after that conversation with Charleston White. Like it's. Yeah. I'm just sitting here listening to him talk, and I'm listening to. I think back to Ryan Garcia's entire few months, right? Like he went on a run talking that. And what is he saying?
It spurts, yeah.
The character from the boxer. He damn near separate. He made the character. He made the character. He put the character out there.
Okay.
Ryan Garcia put a character out there.
Yeah,
right?
He left his phone in my mama house. He had a brand new iPhone, with no lock on it.
He left it. He just left it out. Yeah, he probably got so much shit going on.
So Uncle's
so
the
now
one that was doing the tweets.
So now I took that phone and I put it in my cabinet and never looked at it, never touched it for a month because I ain't that kind of.
Yeah, could have called TMZ right away.
I ain't that kind of.
Word.
Yeah, I got good character when the lights off. Yeah,
that's what it's about.
Yeah. I got integrity when ain't nobody looking. Yeah, I just steal out of Walmart when ain't nobody looking. I don't do no other kind of bullshit. I took that little phone, homie, and yeah, he called me for a month and we never could, but I never touched it.
Wow,
yeah. That's dope.
That's brave.
Yeah, that's not. No, it's. I mean,
ain't too many people say that. That's the hottest man right now.
And so when I made the black Muslim comment, obviously I'm talking about somebody that we had up here as a guest, Devin Haney.
That's what I was talking. Hey, listen. Yeah. So to my Rollo and them, you know, everybody would call him my Rollo and Goldmouth and them, man. Telling my niggas and them, man, you know he talking about you, and I'm telling my niggas and them, homie, I don't know y'all like this to say nothing about y'all, homie, but I ain't that kind of nigga. So me, Goldmouth and Rollo and my nigga Big, we all had a long talk because we leaders and we lead people, so they don't have time to see that shit. But based off what the people calling and saying, my niggas were feeling some kind of way. So you know, like I tell all my say, homie, y'all get out the way. Don't worry about what I'm doing. Y'all get out the way. This my game.
You know how we rocking. So
yeah. Let me put my game down. But now this ain't about y'all. Unless the shoe fit word.
Right.
So I told him, homie, so I told Rollo, I said, nah, my nigga, when I close my eyes, you what them trying to be, but they can't be, my nigga. You really trying to live up to that and adhere to the beliefs and the rules of that shit. I don't see nobody, so nah, don't put yourself in those shoes. That rock don't hit you. Nah, that rock don't hit you, but who it hit, he holler. I haven't went and heard, you know, what he said, but yeah, Davey, that's who I was talking to, because I once practiced and studied Islam, and considered myself a Muslim who snuck and ate pork, but still considered himself a Muslim. Wow. And I jacked off 7 times a day, and I didn't pray 5. But I was a kid. I was a little bitty boy. Yeah, I was 15, 16 playing Muslim. But I learned the difference between what Elijah and what Farrakhan them was teaching, and so I went with Wallace, W.D. Muhammad. I went with his teachings, which more what Malcolm was going toward the end. I didn't want to be hateful because I didn't come from a hateful household. Okay. So I didn't know how to hate. So I didn't embrace Islam with Farrakhan and the Black Nation of Islam, who appeared to be angry and hateful as Muslims. I wanted to be more with what Wallace and them had to offer. So when I look at these Muslim brothers, homie, no matter my street, 90% of my friends are Muslims. But they became Muslims in prison or when we was in the boys' home. So most of us became Muslims around the same time. After we read Malcolm X's autobiography around 93, 92, 93, right? So so I know anything you convert to in my mind, you would change to something else too. In my mind, you convert to something, you would change to something else too. The right information come along. I ain't nothing but what mama and them say I need to be. Mountable, smart, intelligent, respectful. I ain't none of that bullshit. Mama and them went and got whatever they got religious wise. Why would I repeat that same thing? So what I know, this generation is not gonna go read the Bible or the Quran.
This generation don't give a fuck about.
They're not, but they do. They give a fuck about good that they see.
They give a fuck about TikTok.
Nah, homie, they give a fuck about the good that they see. That's why Rollo got an army.
They're out there outside of religion even.
You're right on that. But on the same note, we could sit there and talk about the youth that's out there.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
Yeah, go ahead.
Homie, everybody's impacted by a good spirit. A good spirited person, whether that's a school teacher, a janitor, a police officer, a judge, a probation officer,
that influence,
or a good spirited person, right? So this book, this group here, they're not going to read the book. They don't give a damn about what the prophets got to say. So this group have to be able to access the spirit of God. So how do you get the spirit? Looking at people who claim to have the religious doctrine, the understanding of the prophets, and that's living up to the teachings and the commandments. That's how the kids access the spirit. Because now they see a good spirited person living up to this shit. So the individual who's talking, I believe this, then you're the Bible. You're the Quran. So when I look at these living Qurans and these living Bibles who say they're Muslim and they're Christian and they believe this, their actions don't align with what they believe. So I call bullshit. You can't believe that shit if you do this, if you do that.
I think that was my biggest problem as a Christian going to church, is watching, looking at all the people, because there was a good run I had. I stopped being a cheating motherfucker because of going to church, right? And I'm in church and I'm like, I was doing it for me at that time in my life. It was like an epiphany.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm like, I'm doing all sorts of shit still, but I'm not prevailing in life the way I wanted to, because I was more focused on all the than I was focused on like the real things in life that matter. And as I'm in there, like I'm a couple week run, couple months, turns into a couple months. I'm listening to the word, I'm listening to the preacher. And I, like, for me, like, you know how it starts, it's like, oh yeah, nah, this is hitting. They're talking to me. I feel it. The light's shining on me in this room. And then I'm looking at everybody as time progresses, having the conversations with the people, meeting the people in there, learning what they're doing every single day. I'm like, everybody in this room, they don't even value what they're listening to. They're doing it for the moment to feel good about themselves for the day. But as soon as you walk out, it changes. And
I used to go to church with my mother for years. I used to watch my mama go by the sermons that the preacher would say after church. I watched that word of God and that belief system transform a woman's life. My mother just got married 4 years ago. I've never seen a man come out my mother's bedroom. I ain't never seen my mother drunk. I've never heard my mother curse out anybody. I watched my mama get saved in 1988, 89. And I remember saying, man, mama tripping. And I remember when I became Islam and me and my mother would have a battle of gods. My mother would say, well, you believe what you believe, son. I believe what I believe, and let's see who God win. I would say, mama, these white people is going to send me to prison. My mama said, yeah, but your God, but my God say that the judge's heart can change that day. My God said son before the fountain. So I would be arguing with my mother with these different religious beliefs. But everybody who I saw believe this didn't live like mama.
Word.
I've never heard my mother say anything bad about my father, whether he deserved it or not. I watched my mother, who my grandmother was born in the 30s, the 40s, who got hooked on heroin during the heroin epidemic during the 50s and the 60s. I watched my mother prayers and her God get grandmama off crack. I watched my Aunt B get hooked on crack when crack came in the early 80s. My Aunt B lost all of her kids to CPS. I watched my mama and her God pray to get Aunt B off crack, overcome cancer, and get all the kids out the foster care system and restore her back to her kids. Not only that, I watched mama then look at her 2 boys. Me at 14 with a murder case, and then my brother at 17 with a capital. We both got capital murder cases. We both rejecting our mother's God. I went Muslim. I went from Muslim to the Crip God, from the Crip God to atheist, from atheist to Satan, to being a Satanist. So I tried all this shit only for my mother God to supersede all these different, because I'm watching my mother's actions. I'm watching my mother win and beat the court system with her God. I'm watching grandmama get off drugs. I'm saying, mama, I'm going to prison. These white folk go send me to prison. My mama saying, son, God got the final say so. So I'm watching my mama with her word of God and her belief in Jesus beat everybody.
Faith that works.
So I'm locked up for murder. My brother locked up for murder. My grandmama in prison. My grandfather in prison. My Uncle Wayne in prison. My Aunt B in prison. My cousin Keisha in prison. And my cousin Mooney in prison. And my mama got to come see all of us. And I watch all of our lives transform with mama's prayers, running down to that jailhouse. So I'm going to believe in mama's God.
Yeah. Yeah, word.
I need to prove.
No, because I watch mama feed people with her God. So everybody with their God, I don't see them do nothing for the least of those. I don't see people, yo God, and I've been watching my mama with her God.
Individuals like your mother are starting to cease to exist.
Well, I tell myself this all the time. You have failed as a parent if your kids don't take your God. If you let the world give your children a God, you have failed as a parent. I don't care how much success. If they don't take your belief in whatever higher power, you have failed. And the only way they can take your belief, they got to see you walk it. See, I ain't see my mama go to church and then smoke cigarettes on the way home. I didn't see my mama go to church and go home and watch soap operas. I didn't see my mama go to church and go home and watch Jerry Springer. She went back and would meditate on the word. She would study the word. So all day long, that's all we would hear is the word.
Faith that word.
So as I'm coming through high, loaded with my sinful nature, mama say, come here, son, give me a hug. So the nurture of that hug, son, I love you. Let me pray for you before you go. Not that you smell like weed, not the shame part.
I know. Come here.
She go let the spirit do the homie.
Come as you
because the spirit go reveal to her she don't even know I need this hug. She don't even know but she know when the hug is needed. So mama stay connected because she the head. So once the head align, then the rest of the family align. So I'm saying, no, if your kids don't take your God, you have failed.
Yeah. So with that said, your kids.
Yeah.
What do they take from it?
My children think I'm God. My words is God to them. If I say it's all right, it's all right. If I tell them daddy go live forever, they believe daddy go live forever. So my words are God to them. Because our Father, I'm the Father. How I'm not gonna be God? And that's the position of the Father, is right beneath God. I'm God to my children. I make the sun rise to them babies. Because I make it happen. I'm like the God of their life. I'm the God of their life.
Now I heard the phone calls.
So why wouldn't they believe in my God when they hear me in the shower talking to the God? They ain't seeing me go to church. I took them to church because that's what their grandmama showed them. That's what she showed us. And I had to show the woman that, mama, I don't need no man to walk me to God when I can access the spirit. I need that preacher for. Why would I need the preacher, mama? And I just got through talking to God last night. Why wouldn't God tell me what he told the preacher this morning? I was talking to him last night. I don't want that God. F- that God. Yeah. And I got to go to him. The preacher told, the Lord told me to tell you, you're a lying motherfucker. And I just got through talking to him. He didn't say nothing to me. I was talking to God and he ain't say nothing to me. So what he talking to you for, but he won't talk to me. And I thought he didn't have no respect of person.
Right.
I thought God didn't favor nobody. So why do God just talk to him and not me? He a lying motherfucker. That's why God don't talk to nobody. God don't communicate with nobody. What's wrong with you?
Have you heard of this guy, New Era Kings?
No.
On Instagram? Yeah, it's a young black dude straight out of the neighborhood. And he's basically taking on these kids in the local neighborhood and teaching them how to do things to survive, like change a tire, mow the lawn, pressure clean some sidewalk, learn how to use the silverware, stuff like that. Yeah, be
skilled brothers with their hands.
Build them up, raise them up. He's been growing on social media and he just made it to 19 keys. Do 19 keys if you heard about it.
Yeah, I met Key.
And he made a statement that went viral recently. He said, I don't trust people that got to go to church if you older than, I think it was like 20 something. He said, if you 30 plus, 40 plus, 50 to plus, and you still got to go to church to hear from God, he said, I think you missed the point. I don't think that's necessary. He said, you should already know what it's about. He said, matter of fact, all these people that go to church that are 45, 50, 35, 40 years old, I don't see y'all doing nothing about the problems in your community but praying. He said, I never seen that group of people get out to the neighborhood and do what I'm doing and start the programs like I'm starting.
Well, he's being arrogant, he's being cocky, and he's having an ego problem.
Okay.
For one, they can't connect with y'all, so why would they come out there? They got to go to work, they got to feed their families. Most of them have taken in they daughters or they sons' kids because they sons are irresponsible, their daughters are irresponsible. So they got to still try to play parent as grandparent. So they ain't got time to come help the motherfuckers out in the community, young mother. And by the way, they faithfully, they listen, you little young stupid motherfucker. You just talking, you don't know nothing, you young. Man, them people been faithfully paying tithes, sowing into this church house because they reading the scripture and they reading the Bible that gives them clear instruction. It don't say go out there to you. It says bring your money to the storehouse. Bring your money to the storehouse. So they paying tithes. The church is supposed to have programs and things to go out and go do what you doing. Little egotistical motherfucker.
Now he's doing a good thing.
I
don't want to take away from that.
But if you go shame grandmama them, take your motherfucking ass to the prison visitation room. Them same people that believe in Christ didn't them going to go visit the gangsters and the killers.
True.
Everybody kept asking me to ask you, but more importantly, shit that I'm like, I really want to know what Charleston White's opinion is on it. There's two people. There's not just one person.
Yeah, cause I got to be on set early in the morning. What time is it?
It's 1:45.
I bet.
People need to cut this shit out. That there's not a few names. There's not just P Diddy out there. There's Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider is from Nickelodeon. That Drake Bell accused of. You know what I mean? That's very real.
There's not just him. Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein, but that's a name that's known, right? Like the newer names are the.
But even that name alone, homie, he stood with Jay-Z. Jay-Z ain't shamed for standing with Harvey. And Harvey was with Oprah, so he's been with all our leaders. You don't hear them people shaming him for standing with this openly. Well, he's in jail now, but they'll shame Bill Cosby. But Bill Cosby wasn't. Nah, man. So
Bill Cosby. Was letting them know.
Homie, Bill Cosby was doing what he do now. Yeah. These hoes like to fuck on
Molly on the champagne.
Homie, these hoes like to fuck on pills. So if I got a little, I'm gonna find out what this like and I'm gonna go get what she like. You
Fuck
like
with these young
pills,
hoes.
and I'm gonna keep the pills because that's the whole like to pop pills. So yeah, I'm gonna give him a pill. This the pill popping generation.
It is.
But Cosby wasn't pedophilia though, right?
Nah,
No.
he wasn't.
See,
Cosby was just like you like the.
That's gonna be it for this reaction, man. We're gonna get back to it for another one. As of right now, it's been your boy BTB Swaggy, man. It's all love. And like you say, you're on the road to 3K, man. Can't do nothing but show love at this point. See y'all in the next one.